If you want to learn how to catch more than the one-to-one RR and also be diverse in the markets, do not skip this video because I'm going to give you guys a lot of gems in here that you literally don't pay nothing for. It's completely free, but it's going to change the way you trade, okay? By following this trading plan that I'm going to show you guys today, you guys will be able to capitalize on taking better setups as well as going for that higher RR to give you leverage to be able to take a loss if you were to trade the following day and you did lose, okay? So RRs are really important because you always want to be up for the day so that the next day if you do lose, you are still up for the week, okay? So I'm going to literally break down step by step on these 4 setups that I took this week that is going to help you guys understand how the market moves, okay? So again, I'm not going to talk so much. I'm going to get straight into the video, but before I get into this video, I'm going to show you guys proof of me calling out these trades in my Discord community. If you guys want to join Summit Traders, the link will be down below, and come trade live with me, okay? I trade live every day except for Friday for London session, and I do call out trades throughout the day for New York or Asian session if I do see the setup that I like, okay? So again, you guys want to join, the link will be down below, okay? But as I say, let's get into the video and then let's start these breakdowns because I know this is what you guys are waiting for, and I'm going to promise you guys that once you walk out of this video, you guys will learn something so valuable that you literally could apply starting today into your trading routine, okay? So let's get straight into the video. So let's go over trades that I caught out this week. This was on Monday. We caught ES sells here, okay? Went for a 1 to 2 RR, TP smash, okay? These are all being called out, okay? Then New York session, I caught out a crude oil trade. Entry was right there. 1 to 1 was hit, and then 1 to 2 was hit. Okay. Then Asian session, I caught out a gold trade. Okay. Gold futures. Sells right there. 1 to 1 was literally hit in literally that 15-minute candle that gave you that break for your entry. Okay. Then following today London session, I caught out 2 trades. We took a crude oil trade. It went for a 1 to 1 RR. It didn't go for that 1 to 2, but it still went for that 1 to 1. So if you had your TP or you closed half at your 1 to 1 and you moved stops to break even, you still made profits for the day, okay? So that was the first trade we took today in London. The second trade was a freaking banger. This was on ES trade. We anticipated ES fake out to the upside, break back into the range. So that was entry right here, okay? And then it literally went 1 to 1 in that same 15-minute candle. And on this ES trade, we literally actually filled in the whole range. So this was more than a 1 to 1 RR. But this is to show you guys that when trading these type of setups, you have multiple executions that you could take, okay? You can either take the continuation with the break and retest, you could take the continuation with the momentum setups, or you could take the fake out when it breaks back into the range. But you need confirmations. That's what I'm going to go over today with you guys, okay? So again, that was literally the trades that I caught out in London session, and actually Asian and New York. So you guys want to be able to catch these setups, join the Discord, man. Link is down below. Literally is only $50. I promise you guys your investment is going to be well worth it, okay? So as I say, now that you guys see the proof that we're calling out these trades live, okay, let's get into the actual breakdown and why I was able to catch these type of setups, okay? So first trade we're going to go over is on ES, okay? So let's clear this out. The first thing I usually do when I get into my session is I'm gonna start at the 1 hour. I'm not looking at the daily. I don't care about that. I'm just finding the levels, okay? The key levels on the 1 hour time frames. So when I came to ES right here, I saw that we had a resistance somewhere up here, okay? Because price failed to close above here. There's a lot of rejections. And then I also saw we had a support somewhere here, okay? So you kind of see that price bounce here, and then we also rejected there. So that's this is the range that you're kind of sitting in right now. Then you go down to the 30-minute time frame, okay? When you're on the 30-minute time frame, you want to adjust your zones to make it a lot cleaner so that you could actually see the closure when it does close outside the range, okay? So when I'm on the 30-minute time frame, I want to adjust it to the bodies up here, and then also the bodies down here. So now you have super clean range. So we close above here with the closure and we have our confirmation, we could take buys. We close below here and we have confirmation, we could take sells, okay? So now you understand that this is a no trade range. You're not trading in this range because anything could happen here. You need to wait for price to tell you what it wants to do, okay? So once I figured that out, I go to the 15-minute time frame, and I'm not adjusting my zones on the 15. I'm only using the 1 hour and the 30-minute time frame zones, and the 15-minute is when I look for entries. Okay, so let's play this out. Okay, we never got a full closure, no closure. Okay, this was our first closure that we had. Now, when you have to understand how the bodies are closing. Okay, this is a closure, but it's not strong enough to give you confidence to be able to take sells. You need to wait for another strong closure. Okay, which we have right there. That was another strong closure. So I wouldn't count this one as a closure. I would count this one as a closure. So when you're trading these ranges, you need to wait for a full strong closure, which is what we had right here. Now you want to wait for a retest of this level. Okay, so since this candle that closes wasn't a very strong bearish candle, you would want a retest to confirm that it wants to hold here. Okay, so let's play this out. We never got the retest just yet. We're coming back. So now we got the retest, but we're breaking back into the range. So do you take buys here? No, you need to wait for the next 15-minute candle to show you that it wants to hold here as support. And then you want to wait for another bullish candle to form to show you that now we have 100% valid support here, and we could eventually start looking for buys, right? So I'm not taking buys here. Let's play this out. No buys just yet, okay? Because at this point, at this given point here, you want to understand that even though you got that retest here, you already know that the momentum is coming to the downside. So taking an impulse buy right here, it's not a good idea. Okay, you still want to be patient and now let it keep retesting it to give you more confirmation that we do want to hold here. Okay, now as soon as this candle literally came back and broke outside of the range, this is what I saw. Okay, I was like, okay, cool, we had a closure to the downside. Okay, we broke back into the range. Now we're breaking back outside of the range. Okay, to pretty much try to continue the sells to the downside. So this is your confirmation right here. You're not taking sells just yet, but you have confirmation. Okay, cool, if we close outside, we close back into the range. Now we're closing back outside the range again. That's telling us that maybe we could have just faked out buyers, and then now we could continue to start coming back down. So as soon as I saw this bearish closure, that was a good sign. Okay, now this next 15-minute candle, literally as soon as it came up, because you have to see these live. Okay, as soon as this candle opened, it came up first to create the top wick. As it created the top wick, it retested this level as a resistance. Then my entry was on the break. Okay, not on the wick, on the break, a full break. Your stops was right there above that wick, above that candle, and literally this was your 1 to 2. So look at how explosive that move was. Okay, so this is what I call a momentum setup. Okay, usually with the momentum setup, when you have a strong closure outside the range, that next, if you're looking for sells, okay, that next 15-minute candle needs to create the top wick to retest the area, then reflip to break the 15 lows that closes outside the range, and that's gonna give you volume to come down. So price came up here, retested it, broke the lows. 1 to 2 was literally hit in this 15-minute candle. Okay, so that is what I call a fake out as well as a momentum setup. Okay, so this was on ES. Now let's go over to oil. Oil is really interesting. I'm going to show you guys how I was able to catch the 1 to 2 on oil. Okay, so again, let's start from the beginning. If you go to the 1 hour time frame, okay, you see that we're consolidating. So you have a level up here as resistance, okay, and then you also have a level down here as support. So this is a no trade range because you don't have any clear direction of where price wants to go. So once you figure that out on the 1 hour time frame, you drop down to the 30-minute. Okay, on the 30-minute time frame, you want to adjust your zone to see if you really need to. Then yeah, if sometimes it will line up with the 1 hour. So the top zone is good, the bottom zone, you have a level here. Cool, so now you have this range on the 30-minute time frame. Okay, you see that price rejected here, push up, rejected here, push down, rejected here, push down, rejected here, push up. So you have this strong level right here of support and a strong level of resistance. So this is a no trade range. Okay, now this is where your patience is going to pay off. So you need to either wait for a closure. The first thing is you gotta wait for a closure. Always wait for a full 15-minute closure. So let's play this out. So this is how I anticipated this trade. So we had a strong closure. Now keep in mind, I want to show you guys something. When you get a strong closure, but that candle is really big, you are most likely not going to get a retest, because this one candle is telling you that we have sellers in the market. Okay, so if you try to wait for a retest back up to this level, you're probably gonna miss the trade. It's gonna keep falling. Okay, so understanding how the candle closed outside is very important. So look at how this candle closed, and look at how ES closed. ES closed like this. Okay, that was ES. That was how it closed. So you see the difference between how this candle closed and how this candle closed, right? So when you see this type of closure, the next 15-minute candle, as soon as it creates a top wick and re-break the lows, that is when you want to enter. But you need to wait for the top wick to be created if you are looking for sells. If you're looking for buys, you need the bottom wick to be created to reflip to break the highs. Okay, so as this candle, this next 15-minute candle, it created that top wick and re-broke the lows. That was entry right there. So we took shorts here. Again, not on the wick. We need that full break. Stops was right here, right above that 15-minute candle, and then your 1 to 2. Okay, and why would you take this trade on here? Because this candle is literally telling you everything. It's telling you that, hey, we have sellers in the market. We've been consolidating here for a while. Now we're actually getting that closure to the downside with a strong bearish closure. So that's telling you that, hey, we could potentially keep coming down. Okay, so entry was right there on this trade. This is a 1 to 2 right here, and let's play this out. And boom, look at how smooth that moved. Because when you trade, okay, and you look at how big candles closes, each candle is telling you a story. So if you see a bearish or a bullish strong closure outside of the range, that is telling you that, hey, we may have buyers or sellers overtaking the markets right now. So this is your time to start looking for entries. If you see here, if you waited for that retest, you would have missed your setup. Okay, so literally this trade went for a 1 to 2. This next 15-minute created that small top wick, re-broke the lows, entry was right there, 1 to 2 was hit. So that was crude oil during New York. Okay, now let's go on to gold during Asian. So let's clear this out. So what do? We start on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, this looks really ugly, but you just have to focus on the main areas. Okay, so we have a resistance over here, and then you also have a support somewhere right here. Okay, so you kind of see here that you have resistance here, rejection to the upside. So this is the level that you had on the 1 hour. Now you go to the 30-minute time frame. You want to adjust your levels now. Okay, so let's move, and it's really simple to find the levels. Just move your zone around to see where it makes the most sense. Okay, so I'm going to move this zone up here because we never close up here, and we rejected from this level multiple times. Okay, now the bottom zone, we're gonna move it here. Cool. So now you have this range right here. You see how we're just bouncing left, back and forth here. So now you have this clean range. So let's go down to the 15-minute time frame. So what do we do now? Do we adjust our zones on the 15-minute? No, we just wait, and we wait for confirmation where price wants to go. Okay, so let's play this out. Boom. So on this 15-minute candle, this was the first 15-minute candle that closes outside of the zone. Okay, so when you see this now, you can anticipate, okay, cool, you can't take sells here just yet. You need the next 15-minute candle to tell you what it wants to do. Okay, so now you understand you have a closure to the downside, which tells you that, okay, cool, we could potentially come down now. Okay, but you need your confirmation. So let's wait for the next 15-minute candle. Literally, this is a momentum setup. Okay, so as soon as this candle opened up, created that top wick to retest your zone, and then re-broke the lows, this is where you would have gotten on this trade. So let's put on the break. Okay, not on the wick, on the break. It's very important because a lot of times it could just wick it and people would think that's a break, but then it could eventually go against you. So you want it to have a full break. Okay, so that was a 1 to 1. This trade was only, it went for like a 1 to 1.8, almost a 1 to 2. But again, at the time of the day, it's very important because this was late into the Asian session. So when you're late into any session, the volume could die down, okay? So that was literally, once it created this top wick, rebroke the lows, you could have gone it for a 1-to-1 right there. And then this trade, let's see, it went down to, yeah, it went down to a 1 to 1.8, okay? Again, volume is very important. You see how we're consolidating here? But again, if you were to strictly take your 1-to-1 or even let it run a little bit more, you would have been able to cut this trade. And this is a momentum setup, okay? Literally, once you get that closure, that next 15-minute candle retests it and then re-breaks the candle that closes outside your zone, that is when you're entering the trade. And usually momentum setups will push as soon as you get that break, okay? So this was on gold during Asian session. And then now let's go to ES trade on this fake out trade, okay? I just want to break down, I know I'm missing like one trade, but I want to break down these setups because they're very clear so that you guys can have a full understanding of why these trades were taken, okay? So let's break down ES now. So let's remove this. Let's go to the 1 hour time frame. So at this time, ES is obviously really bullish, but again, you can't just buy a pair because you're still all the way up there, right? So you need to mark out your levels. So we have this level of resistance here that price did break out, okay? And then you also have a level of support here. Well, actually, yeah, we weren't at this time yet. So we were here. So you see how in the 1 hour time frame you have a resistance here and you also have a support. So this is a no trade range for now because you never had a breakout, okay? Let's go down to the 30-minute time frame. You see how the 30-minute lined up with the 1 hour? So in this type of case, you don't have to adjust your zones. You can still use the zones that you have here, okay? So now that you understand you have your zones, you go to the 15-minute time frame and you wait. You literally just wait, okay? So let's wait. Let's play this out. We're not taking buys on this closure because why? You need your confirmation because the next 15-minute candle could literally go back into the range and then we'll fake out the buyers, okay? A lot of people, when they trade breakouts, they're taking the buy off of the impulse, and then most of the time they will lose because they're catching that impulse, which is most likely going to be a fake out because the banks and everyone, the market knows that as soon as it breaks, there's a lot of orders that are placed there to anticipate volume to push, and it's not going to be easy all the time. So you want to wait for your confirmations, okay? So we got that closure. Now let's wait for that retest. Okay, we never had a full retest, okay? When it retests like this, I wouldn't consider that a retest. I wanted to tap the zone, okay? So I want the zone to be tapped, and that it never did that, okay? So you're still waiting. Even though there was a break right here on this bullish candle, you do not want to take this entry because you never had a clean retest, okay? So let's play this out. This literally was kind of telling me, okay, cool. We broke out of the range. We tried to retest. We broke the highs. And now we're actually retesting the range on. So you see the difference between this candle and that candle, right? This candle is more of a retest. This one is just, you know, it's whatever, okay? So you have a full retest now. Now we need to wait. If we're trying to buy, okay, we need to wait for a bullish candle to close. And then following that, we will take the break to the upside, okay? But that never happened here. So if you see here, once we got that retest, we close back into the range. Now, pay attention to this, okay? Whenever you're breaking outside or going back into the range, you want a retest, but it depends on how that 15-minute candle looks, okay? This is a strong 15-minute candle closure back into the range. Kind of like over here as well, strong bullet bearish candle. This is a weak on the ES trade. Oh, I think we already skipped that one. I mean, we already did that one. So again, understanding how the candle closes is going to be very important. This is a strong bearish candle back into the range. So if you do wait for this retest here, you might miss the trade because this is a very strong candle that's telling you, hey, sellers are going back into the range. Price may actually start coming down again, okay? So as soon as the next 15-minute candle created that top wick and rebroke the lows, okay, this was entry. That would have been where you have gotten. You could have stops up here, or you could have had stops right here. I put stops up here because it's ES. It kind of is very volatile, so having a stop like this, you might get stopped out. But if you were to have your stops right there, you could have caught 1, 2, 3 RR, a little bit more than 1 to 3 RR, and eventually it did come down to retest here, which was about a 1 to 5 RR. But again, we're not greedy. Whenever you trade fake out trades, you want to get your 1 to 1 and be done, because now you're trading back into the range. So I had stops above this previous 15-minute candle that closed back inside the range, and then as soon as this next 15 opened up without a bottom wick, it created the top wick and then reflipped to break the lows. That was entry right there. 1 to 1 was really smacked in that 15-minute candle. So again, this is a fake out trade, also momentum because of how candles are closing. But understanding how to read candles is very important, and it's all about you being patient and staying true to your plan. As long as you're patient and you wait for price to show you what it wants to do, that is when you will have a higher opportunity to win your setups instead of trying to force a trade. Okay, so again, I hope you guys learned something from this video, and literally watch the video over and over again if you guys are still having a hard time. And I promise you guys, as long as you guys keep watching this video and keep putting it to the charts and actually back test it, you're only going to get better at this, and you're going to see this happen over and over and over again. Okay, so again, that's all I have for you guys. I hope you guys learned something from this video. I'll see you guys on the next video. Okay, peace.